How many of you remember this? How many of you remember this? If you remember this, you are a true original gorilla of YouTube. Remember when this was uploaded? What was this, like 2007? And that was back when YouTube had, like little trophies, depending on how many views your video got, like the most trending video. If you don't remember this, you are young. It's crazy to think that there are people watching my dog crap channel who are younger than this Mario Paint song that is playing right now. Oh, you said it's echoing? Is it echoing for anyone else? Said no echo for you. Let me know if any of you other boys are having an echo. I just turned the gain down on my mic. You might have been hearing the song from my headphones through the mic as well. Every time I have the gain up all the way and I'm talking and I see it hitting that red, I'm like, oh. Sorry. Sulks doesn't see it, thank you. You know, someone left an interesting comment on the last stream. A lot of you boys were not fond of what I had to say about Midna last stream. Some of you in the chat were arguing with me live, and some of you jumped in after the fact. This gentleman said, I just read chat, Twilight Princess is the only game. And Midna's fat ass was a test. If you didn't think about hitting it from behind at least once, Lucas/Keffels is ready for you. So I respect the argument he's making there. The argument he's making there is, if you disagree with me, you have sex with men. And all of us here have been through high school, or have been through some form of, at least primary schooling, right? So we all know how effective that argument is. And I kneel 13.18 summa to this argument. But I'm still not convinced. I'm terribly sorry. I came prepared. Listen. In Midna, I didn't notice it until you guys all dogpiled me, but I can see that Imp Midna has oddly some feminine characteristics that she probably shouldn't, right? Like, she has the hourglass figure and breast, which is odd, but at the end of the day, look at how big her head is compared to her body. That is the greatest sign of neoteny. Like, have you ever seen a real life kid? Their heads are stupidly large compared to their body. Hold on, let me turn off the music. Like, a real life kid's head is stupidly large compared to their body, and it's practically wired in our DNA to be something that we don't find sexually attractive. Now, on the other hand, Twilight Midna, that's a woman. That is a woman. That is a classical babe, just with blue skin. Let's count all the boxes she hits. First, you want to call this a thigh-high slit, but it's not even that, right? It's better. It's just her entire leg is bare. That dress shifts to her left even a little bit, and you're going to get to see some Mound of Venus. And on the other slide, it's actually sloped downward. So if it goes down from there too, you're also going to see Mound of Venus. They cleverly disguised it by making her skin here dark to make it look like undergarment, but I'm calling it, that's her skin. And it extends to her arms, giving her an inherent resemblance to those long sleeves that double as fingerless gloves, which always look fantastic on ladies. And even more than that, it extends to her bust. Nintendo gave us bare boobies in Twilight Princess. I heard in the rated M version of the game that was only available in Japan, she has nipples right there. And my, are they fabulous. And of course the midriff. Like, do I even need to say it at this point? Honestly, the only flaw in Twilight Midna's design is the head and crown. It's just oddly ostentatious, a bit too pointy, to be straight up. It's also weird that her hair is tied in front of her like a necklace. Like, it almost looks like her hair might choke her out. But the point is, my argument stands. If you find that attractive instead of that attractive, there is something wrong with you. Alright, I think you have something miswired. On the other hand, if you find that attractive and not that attractive, you are a healthy human male. Just like me. Because you agree with me. So that's enough autism. You said sounds like something a hater would say? You said that's a man? Terrible. Terrible comments. You said ignorant as hell you will be boiled. Listen, man. She has the proportions. Listen to me. Castle Bravo. Imp Midna has the proportions of a child. Case closed. I'm sorry. Twili Midna, on the other hand. That's a woman. You said, okay, and oh, you sick fuck. You said you think she looks more like a goblin than a kid, but does look young. Yeah, I mean, she's an imp, right? That's what I'm saying, Hacky. How did Hacky lose his modship? Hacky, were you banning people and I had to take away your modship? Yeah, so CapiTroll got banned. We're going to get into that. Someone also asked me on the last video, or the last stream rather. What was it? Yeah, to talk about the Black Little Mermaid. I'm not going to. I actually, since I was a kid, I don't consume modern Western media at all. I never have, and you probably shouldn't either. Like, and that's just one of a million reasons why, because that shit isn't even unusual these days, right? Excuse me. That's just the norm. You said, what if you're a female? Michelle Bella, so you prefer Imp Midna over Twilight Midna as well? Said you got issues. I believe you have issues. I believe you have issues, Castle Bravo. Oh, okay. My apologies, Castle. My friend. You were saying, okay, and to you having problems, not to her being a child. Okay. Okay, I'll let that slide. Oh, you're also a lady. God bless. CapiTroll the YouTube. Yeah, CapiTroll the Vault Rep. If you want to support CapiTroll, his troll channel is gone. Yes, Aaron Pride. His troll channel wherein he would make fun of Mr. Dale Emmanuel Wilson is gone. If you want to support him, go to the description. Literally the first line has his main channel where he was actually focused on content creation. Yes, thank you, Michelle. Will I ever make a parody of DSP's Level 1 podcast intro for my own podcast? You know, I'd like to, Chroma. The unfortunate thing, my friend, is I am lazy. I am a very lazy person. I am a master procrastinator. And it's hard for me to even hold myself to the things I want to do already. Yeah, that happened just a few hours ago. Apparently what happened was, and we'll get into it more later, but apparently what happened was Dale started flagging trolls live on YouTube. I don't know if he did it literally while he was streaming, but I saw the Trevor's Discord, the Symphony Discord. Like, at first he got struck, and then he immediately privated all his videos, and we thought that might save his channel, but within a few hours, the channel was just kaput completely. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I wonder if it was a copyright strike or if it was a terms of service violation. When I clicked his channel, I think I have it up here actually. I mean, I wanted to save this for later when we were talking more about Dale stuff, but just to pay tribute right away. So when I clicked his channel, I get this. Excuse me. It says this channel has been terminated for a violation of YouTube's terms of service. So that's not the typical message you get when you're banned for copyright infringement, which means that I think Mr. Wilson and his loyal coterie of confused young boys mass reported him for bullying, which that's just pathetic. I'm sorry. So it's probably hate speech. Yeah, that's an interesting point too. It might have been Dale's own content that CapiTroll hosted that they reported for bullying, right? But still, we know who's behind it and we know why they did it. You boys see the retirement of Roger Federer yesterday. I just wanted to show you this really fun clip from yesterday. So in my opinion, this should have counted. I'm going to mute the audio to see if we avoid getting copyright struck. So in my opinion, this shot should have counted. Watch this shot right here. It went through this hole between the net and the post upon which the net is affixed. I have never seen that in a professional tennis match ever. All I am saying though is that when you're playing with your buddies at the park and you're playing with all those ripped nets and all that, you know, that good old nasty shit that hasn't been maintained for over a decade, you know, this type of thing happens all the time. So how come we don't get credit for it? Oh, damn. But what a moment. What a moment yesterday was. What a moment yesterday was. Well, except for one thing, right? What the hell was, I don't even know if I have it pulled up. But what the hell was this decision to have this random woman? I don't even know who she is, I'm not going to lie. Apparently her name is Ellie Goulding, right? And she's saying they had her come on live to sing this really romantic song called Falling For You. And it's like, unless this guy is... Why'd you time him out? No, you don't have to time out Sus. He's always going to simp for Bella in the chat. Unless this random lady... Again, it shows you how ignorant I am about popular culture. But unless this is like Roger Federer's favorite singer ever, she should not have been here. Like, I don't know why the hell she was there, but it almost ruined the moment. Almost. But it was still crazy to see the way Nadal broke down. For those of you who don't know tennis, I mean, I remember 15 years ago, right? You said she has a few hits. I'm not familiar. Radio stuff. Yeah, I heard she also sang a song called Burn, which I've heard on the radio before, for sure. But for those of you who don't know tennis, it's crazy because I remember, you know, watching these two when I was a kid. And Nadal was always, they called him the pirata, I believe, Spanish for pirate, because he had a pirate look, like he had the long hair and he had a headband. He looked like something out of Risky's Revenge. And, you know, he was the 19-year-old upstart and Federer was the 24-year-old king. And it's just crazy to me to look upon them now and see how much time has passed, and so quickly. Like, if you are a fan of sports, period, an era just ended yesterday. And I think we should all appreciate that. What a moment it was. I was texting my best friend, the gentleman who filmed that video of El Pirata. The gentleman who filmed that short of me hitting Ray Lazarus' punching bag. Love me like you do. Yeah, I've heard that crap before too. Yeah, and he was always a big Federer fan, and it was a very emotional moment for Fed fans around the world. Very emotional moment. Again, I know tennis probably isn't the cup of tea of anyone on this channel, but it's the type of thing that, if you're not aware of, you should have a passing awareness of it, at the very least. It's the first doubles game I ever watched for its entirety. It was actually a lot more entertaining than I thought. Let's move on to... by the way, this is going to be a shorter stream. Obviously, I'm streaming on Saturday instead of Sunday, and I know that's probably throwing a lot of regulars off. I apologize for that. The reason is simple. A few days ago, my job tells me, oh, by the way, you're going on a business trip on Sunday. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you for the heads up. I really appreciate that. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to make like what, $700 off like the per diem and whatnot. So I'm always happy to go on these trips monetarily. Not that that's even a lot of money to me anymore, but it sucks not having heads up. You don't think, no, you are through the vetting process. And actually, we're going to talk about that more later because Ray Lazarus went crazy about me. Ray Lazarus, Low Tier God's number one, Low Tier God's dragon, right? In the world of tropes, Mr. Wilson would be a big bad, and Ray Lazarus would be his dragon. But before we get into that, I want to talk about Kiwi Farms. Specifically, I want to talk about this operator syndicate guy who is taking credit for the hacking of the farms. I'm not sure if you saw this gentleman, but he is... I think he actually is behind the hack. I know a lot of people are calling him a LARPer, calling him a Fed, all this type of stuff. But I think he's behind the hack based on his posting history. But I found this gentleman funny for a number of reasons. I wanted to pull this up for you because I was looking through their brief Twitter history. They only made their account at like the end of August. And not to be insulting, but the only reason they're doing this is for attention, to look good. Like, in late August, they were neutral on the Kiwi Farms, perhaps even slightly positive on Kiwi Farms. And then they like started polling people and like looking for a campaign to latch themselves onto to be what they called a good guy. And they saw the massive campaign Keffels had underway, hashtag drop Kiwi Farms, and they decided to devote their resources to it to feel like a hero. I don't mean to insult this gentleman, but that's not a mentality I can terribly respect. I think I have another cap. Yeah, because they addressed the fact that not a lot of people are happy about us jumping on board with Drop Kiwi Farms. And this was them just at the beginning of September, and it's changed drastically. They said, our problem is not with hashtag Kiwi Farms in and of itself. It is with the toxic and malicious parties responsible for acts of malice against other humans and individual freedom. Our primary goal is to disrupt and minimize the ability for these acts to transpire by whatever means we see fit. Naturally, since the primary medium of those cultivating and contributing to these acts is hashtag Kiwi Farms, is cited as a suitable target and not our only one. Odd capitalization of our right there. What do you got? Well, we again, they capitalize we. Like, they really must think of themselves as a deity or some sort. Wiggle grifting, I agree, Kirby. While we don't inherently have an issue with hashtag Kiwi Farms, we do not agree with their choice to tolerate activity that leads to attacks on the rights of individual to be free from oppression. Made a decision and must bear any and all effects of that decision. Objective goes beyond downing a site. It is to ruthlessly slap the fuck out of a toxic, malicious movement. We will demonstrate that predators of the innocent can be hunted, that threats to a progressive world can be met with overwhelming opposing force. Threats to a progressive world. Good lord. Fully aware of our adversaries' capability. Come on, now they're just trying to... Honestly, Kiwi Farms isn't capable of much. They're a bunch of autists. And then they end with some schizo mantra. Very important. But what I found interesting about all this was not that they truly joined this hashtag Drop Kiwi Farms campaign with the intent of taking down someone they thought evil. They looked to find someone that was evil. Basically, this is a justification after the fact. They fit Kiwi Farms into this mold that they wanted of an evil person to oppose, an evil community to oppose. Will I return to Kiwi Farms if they reopen? in the same capacity I always have. I've always been a lurker. I've always been, like, I've been on the site. I think my main account was on the site since 2015, or my only account. The only other account I had was banned in like 2014. And I only had like 500 posts across 7 years. You look at people like Strawberry Douche and the other typical Kiwi farmers, and they've been on the site like half as long as I have and have literally 20 times as many posts. It blows me away. Love you too, JDX. I appreciate that. Yeah, we are nominous. We are legion. We are many. And the other thing I found interesting about these guys was I do think they're good at what they do. I'm not trying to just come on here and talk crap about them because they took down my beloved site. But it was really interesting to me that they're basically trying to bill themselves as the best hacker in the world. Honestly, the breach that transpired on Kiwi Farms, someone was going to do it eventually. Noel made that chat himself. I was there in the chat when he was like asking for help. Like he made it in Rust to integrate with Zen 4.0. One, it's at least a year-old version of Zen 4.0. Two, he didn't know what he was doing and was literally asking for help live. I'm not going to pretend I anticipated it being a source of a breach, but I remember seeing that and thinking, like, this thing's going to suck, isn't it? And three, he made it open source. I totally understand why someone like Null, who is philosophically on the side of Floss software, free, open license, open source software, right? But I think that was an absolutely foolish decision to make your chat open source. Because you know you have millions of people like this who desperately want to be the person that hacked Kiwi Farms. Again, I get why he did it philosophically, but that was just a recipe for disaster waiting to happen. Easy to say in hindsight, but said crap like that is why you avoided Kiwi Farms. It's like the minefield there. Yeah. I want to talk about the Telegram group briefly, but staying on the topic of this Op Syndicate gentleman, I noticed that the gentleman whom they... And I can't even see him on my main account because he blocked me the moment I made a Twitter. So they're claiming that they're doing all this in defense of progressivism, right? We just saw that. Transgender people. And again, using that as a moral club to argue that every terroristic, illegal action they either partake in or claim to partake in is justified. I mean, man, just off the top of my head, that the growing prevalence of that childish logic from the LGBT community is presenting a really bleak outlook for society, and it's saddening. But I want to observe something. This grand defender of the LGBT broke their news to, and he reached out first, to be fair, but they still broke the news to Ethan Oliver Ralph. Ethan Oliver Ralph, also known as Ethan Gunt Ralph, also known as Ethan the Pedophile Ralph, as he might proudly say. I'm sure you guys saw that clip of him responding to people calling him fat by bragging about the fact that he fucks young pussy. But, Op Syndicate, if your idea of helping out the LGBT community is siding with Ethan Ralph to spite Null, respectfully, you are a moron. This gentleman is far more anti-homosexuality, anti-transsexuality, anti-everything progressivism than Null ever hopes to be. Like, the Kiwi Farms used to be far left. I keep telling you guys this and no one believes me. But yeah, they're following him straight up. Like, yes, Ethan Ralph reached out to them first, but they decided to hit that follow button. And I don't know, maybe they were just... I truly underestimate like the influence a checkmark has, because it means nothing to me, but like it's something Dale brings up all the time. And I really underestimate like how powerful it is to the average person, but I guess they just saw some fat guy with a checkmark with a big platform, a big-ish platform, reached out to them. And so they smashed that follow button and they got in bed with him. SJW hacking group. I mean, of course there's a lot of SJWs in computer science, right? It's a career field in which, at its height, you can be the biggest weirdo ever. Not to call every SJW weird, but a lot of them are. And it's like, who is the typical SJW. There's someone who sits at home a lot, on Twitter a lot. Like, it doesn't surprise me whatsoever that, like Anonymous is super SJW today, right? No, Kiwi Farms used to be far left, especially when it was a quickie form, JDX. And the last funny thing that I wanted to observe about this gentleman Op Syndicate, excuse me, I found this really funny. It made me, again, if you don't know who they are, you probably won't find it as funny as I did, but if you remember old Unabashed Hermaphrodite, also known as Erica Eisen, also known as a million names. She was in a stream 2 days ago and one of the mods banned him. I wish they didn't because I've always found them funny. I mean, they're insane, but I've always found them funny. They're the person that wanted to beat the crap out of Kamidi, or they're the person that got in bed with Icthultu. You know, they were all up in my DMs when I was, when everyone was trying to be up in my DMs during the Bella nonsense. And some guy, this wasn't me, believe it or not, but some guy wrote, for your information, for anyone lurking, Op Syndicate 42 is just Blaine Gavin Ross, aka Unabashed Hermaphrodite, an insane lunatic who has been banned from Kiwi Farms, our drama, etc. He has nothing better to do than reset his router and be annoying and cringe on the web all day. And that pissed off Syndicate off, so I found that really funny. You said I'm way too nice to these people. I've been told that. I try to be nice. You said I'm thirsty for the checkmark. I will never have a checkmark on any platform, I assure you, David. Secular says, boil away all the political crap and it comes down to people getting angry at being made fun of online. Exactly. Exactly. That's what's crazy to me. Right? Like, what this gentleman is doing, or at least claiming to do proudly, is prima facie illegal. Just on its face, illegal. It's terrorism, right? He's trying to scare people by hacking them and revealing their personal information. There are people on Kiwi Farms who have done that, right? But never has it been sanctioned by the ownership of Kiwi Farms, mostly by Null. Like, for example, when someone hacked into the account, a Kiwi farmer hacked into the account of the person that swatted Keffels. They hacked into the email and found the email, and then posted it to the farms. And Null was pissed about it because hacking itself is illegal. Too hard-boiled of an egg to have a check mark. No, I'm too problematic. I'm just too problematic, JDX. Someone like me, far more likely to get a hashtag cancel Sallow trending than ever having a check mark. I stopped tweeting altogether, by the way. Like, I loved or I shouldn't say love. I like the idea of Twitter being a free bulletin board that can easily integrate with Discord from its API, like via TweetShift. But once I saw that Keffels got a check mark, and, you know, respectfully, I do believe Keffels is a pedophile, but we'll talk about that more at length in a future upload. But it became impossible to ignore who the target demographic of Twitter is once Keffels got that check mark. So Blaine claimed to have swatted MTG. Yeah, exactly. I think it was a mistake of me to ever sign up. What else is on the docket? Oh yeah, speaking of Icthultu real quick. This was really funny. So someone has been going around impersonating Icthultu, also known as Walker Burgess, also known as literally who with the question mark. And they've been using his name to run interference for Craig Beckett, the fat guy who was, you know, sexing the 17-year-old. And Walker Burgess made a YouTube short saying he's going to find him. And the thing about Walker Burgess, if you don't know about this gentleman, is that he claims to be former Anonymous, former Red Sec, former all these types of hats, right? And people like Greasy Spoon really despise him for how much he talks himself up. But I found it funny because he threatens to find the YouTube account, Walker Burgess.
So I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do this, but there's some asshole going around YouTube impersonating me, using my real name and making me sound like a fucking pedophile. I'm calling you out right now, dude. Cut it the fuck out, or I'll find you.
I love that. He's gonna find him. And I hope he does. Because that ain't cool. And Walker, you are a G, an OG, right? Said you hate YouTube. Yeah, me too. It's far too easy to simply mass flag someone. I hate it when it happens to DSP. I hate it when it happens to CapiTroll. Legendary Internet Detective Icthultu. Amen. God bless Icthultu. God bless Icthultu. God bless Icthultu, truly. I always told him I bear no ill will towards him, even though a lot of people do. He never forgave me for like trying to help him out by hooking him up with angry Canadians so they could have their final duel. But he said the whole hive mind thing, but way deeper. I agree, Bella. Michelle Bella. I have to stop calling you Bella. That name is tainted on this channel. Before we get into what you gentlemen are discussing, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about in relation to Kiwi Farms. Specifically the Telegram chat. The Telegram chat on Kiwi Farms is a cesspool of stupidity, man. It's impossible to... like, you spend a few minutes browsing that Telegram chat and all of a sudden you become a little more sympathetic to Keppels, I swear. But there were a number of things. One, I saw an argument where people were arguing about... where two guys were arguing about why do people use Discord? Why don't they just use Matrix? You know, use Element with Matrix. And a gentleman responded with a simple argument to the contrary, right? That Discord is easy to use. Discord is, it's very simple. You just set up an account, you join the server that someone creates, and then you're automatically rolled into whatever the hell you're rolled into. And Matrix essentially does the opposite. It's like you have to opt into every group once you join a group. And that gentleman got very pissed, the guy arguing for Matrix, because he was saying, well, you're just arguing for consumerism, and hashtag I must consume is not a valid reason. It's not a valid argument. And I was reading that crap like, yes, it actually is a valid argument. When you're asking why are people consuming something and not consuming something else, the fact that the first thing is easier to consume is a very valid argument. Okay, people don't understand this. Like, we were talking about this a few streams ago. I see everyone using StreamYard these days. And people were going from Slugs Chat, trolling Steve DeLee for using StreamYard. And the powerful thing about StreamYard is the fact that it's so easy to use. Right? It's so easy for anyone with a Google account to join the show. You know, they get held backstage until... and only the host can see their video or their audio feed. And then with a click of a button, they bring them in. Someone like me or Noel, you know, using OBS and using Video Ninja to try to emulate the same. Whether we admit it or not, it's simply not as easy. And the only reason you can't accept that as an argument is the fact that you're autistic. I hate to be mean, but that's why. Gilded is the same thing as Discord, but better. Use Gilded. So I was looking at that yesterday, actually. I downloaded the installation file, but I didn't bother installing it. I was thinking of setting up Gilded as a backup, or at least integrating it. The Yokai Advisor. Thank you so much. I appreciate that immensely. Truly. That's easily my favorite way for... put some pants on. I appreciate that immensely. That's my favorite way for you gentlemen to support, because when we have 8 members, it shows a little thank you banner on the YouTube channel, and I like that. Said you talk about low tier. What are you talking about? I talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about, Zakid. Secular says, not only easier but more popular, same reason BitChute will never best YouTube. That's just the way the world works. Exactly. That's the other thing, right? Discord is a chat protocol. Matrix is also about chatting. What is the value of a chat protocol? Who's on it? Whom can you talk to? Whom can you chat to? If it can be the best damn chat service in the world, you could have free hosting, free ability to upload 1,000 gigabyte files. Insanely fast, free video calls at 1080p, free audio calls, whatever. It doesn't matter if you're the only one using it. Like you said, Secularis, that's the way the world works. But the other thing I wanted to argue, or not argue, the other thing I wanted to point out about the Telegram chat, this was hilarious to me. So you know how the main argument against Kiwi Farms is that it's intensely transphobic, right? The greatest sin in the world. Well, in the Telegram video call, a transgender female to male was in the call, and I asked her if I could take a pic and use it for this video, and she said yes. I didn't ask her about censoring it out, so I censored her eyes out. And the only reason I'm bringing this up, I'm not insulting this woman whatsoever, but this woman is ostensibly everything Kiwi Farms hates, right? This lady was on the call, and every single person in the video call was flirting with this woman. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even be calling her a woman. She's female to male. She's transgender. Excuse me, he's transgender. He's female to male. Right? That's supposed to be everything Kiwi Farms hate. Also a little, doesn't take care of himself very properly, right? Obviously, a little heavy. And that's supposed to be everything Kiwi Farms hates, right? Yet, literally every single person in the chat was not making overt flirtations. They weren't saying, man, I want to raw dog you while you bite the pillow in front of you. But every single one of them was just doing that constant high school-esque passing attempt at flirtation. And it's like, how can you call Kiwi Farms the devil of the internet if they're really just a bunch of autistic, lonely persons who, the moment they see a female to male transgender, the fact that they are at first female, lose their mind and all want to flirt? No, there's no present way to get on the farms. It will be back up, or he's going to try tomorrow. Oh shit, I hope you fix that monitor, or get a new monitor quick. Yeah, just don't be transphobic, bro. And it's just, I don't know. The other interesting thing was that this also, this lady's commanding presence, or excuse me, this person's commanding presence of the chat when they were on video call. Goes back to what I was saying on a few streams earlier, and a lot of you guys didn't believe me, but like, literally every single person that I've met via Kiwi Farms and later formed like a friendship with, that stayed with that friendship, was like transgender or some form of LGBTQ. Like, I'm not just talking crap when I say that it's the largest LGBTQ site in the world. It's definitely the largest gay site I've ever used, I'll tell you that. Said, you never understood why this phobia thing has been mainstream. It's not even the correct English suffix to use in these situations. It's like, who realistically has an actual fear of trans or homo? I agree, it is a passive-aggressive insult, right? Calling someone homophobia because, excuse me, calling someone homophobic because they don't like homosexuality isn't quite accurate, right? Could be mere religion. Try to call someone homophobic in Iran and see how soon it is before you get tossed off a building. Are you going to say you're ex-phobic but slide in DMs of one? I can't. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Solex. It's like, you just know that the gentleman I was just showing you, female to male transgender, you just know her DMs were blown up after this video call by supposedly the most evil website in the world that hates transgenders with a passion. You just know. Trust me, the video call itself, I probably should have recorded the damn video call, honestly. But again, I only use Telegram on my phone. But it's like, damn. If you are a lady out there and you want some attention, just go in the Kiwi Farms Telegram chat. Just go in the Kiwi Farms Telegram chat. Doesn't matter. You said they were phobic. They felt all awkward and shy, truly crushing. That's what I'm saying. But truly, if you're a lady and you feeling a little bit lonely and you want some attention, just go on the Kiwi Farms Telegram chat. And you'll, It's not the place to find a boyfriend, I'll tell you that. It's not the place to find a future husband, though. Definitely not. Oh my goodness. So someone asked, when will Kiwi Farms be back up? So Noel had a family emergency that would occupy him for at least a week. And he's not working on it until Monday. And rightfully so. And Op Syndicate was saying, don't worry, we'll be here the moment you come back. Damn, you're so evil, man. So evil. So evil. But, I don't know. So you still have screenshots of the Kiwi Farm Discord in 2020. It was a wild time. Yeah, I remember you trolling me in there. Bernie Bike says the local behavioral health facility is the place to find that. Get some free pizza. Yeah, if you're a lady and you want some free pizza. I mean actual pizza, not what people like 4chan call cheese pizza. I mean, like, you just want a Domino's pizza delivered to you. Just go on the Kiwi Farms Telegram chat. It's a LARP. Can't tell you how many black woman threads on poll I've seen. They love what they claim to hate. They are just teens online who want friends. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of white nationalists who only have sex with black and Asian women. Some say I'm one of them, but I disagree with that. You just topped in what happened with Kevin. We're about to get into that, actually. This is going to be a shorter stream, and the rest of the stream is going to be about the cucking it. So this just happened. Unfortunately, like literally right before the stream. I mentioned it earlier. CapiTroll got mass flagged by Dale, which is a very powerful strategy on YouTube because YouTube is run by bots and they don't respond to individual counterclaims very well. It's the exact same thing that happened to N1337, who was a friend of the channel. So he got 2 flags. He immediately privated all his videos, but still a 3rd flag came through. And now, CapiTroll Wasteland is unfortunately kaput. The problem with this is, like we said, this is a report for bullying. And no, that's not my account. I just stole this from the Symphony Discord. The problem with this is that there's no way to... There's no punishment for false flagging people on YouTube. You can flag people as much as you want to. And there's no punishment for it. Like, there's no internal secret punishment that I know of, just as much as there's definitely no public punishment. Does he really think that he, by getting rid of the troll channels, that it will somehow change and/or erase his bad history? Good question, Content. And the answer is, unfortunately, kind of yes. A lot of things in the world, and public perception is one of them, are controlled by what I call the megaphone effect. You look at Wings of Redemption. We talked about this last stream. All these channels on Wings of Redemption that have 30k subscribers, 15k subscribers, all the DSP channels with 15k subscribers, almost 40k subscribers, and of course Sean Rankin, who almost had the silver play button. One of the things that you have to give credit to Dale Emmanuel Wilson for over Mr. Burnell and Mr. Jordan is that his unrelenting obsession with flagging guys that have not even 200 channels subscribed to them has definitely helped him in terms of throttling the troll community in a way that, because let's be honest, when it comes to DSP and when it comes to Mr. Burnell and when it comes to Mr. Jordan, their troll communities are 100% bigger than their actual fan base. When it comes to Mr. Wilson, on the other hand, you have the fact that he flags anyone and everyone. Like, he never leaves his goddamn Casa de Lancaster apartment. He's just sitting around flagging channels all goddamn day. He even has a playlist of channels to kill. And that, combined with the fact that he has this odd cult of confused young boys who simply gravitate to him because he's on steroids. And there are 2 reasons that they gravitate to him. 1, he's buff because he's on steroids. God bless him. 2, he's a black guy and he calls out a lot of black behavior. And whether we admit it or not, there is a sentiment of refreshment for people viewing that. Because obviously Black Lives Matter got super big, especially during the last election cycle. And they basically ran roughshod, actually taking over city blocks, People... I believe it was Chaz, right? The Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, in which they barricaded themselves off, set up their own community, and people died in there that couldn't get medical help. I think the guy was shot in there. I shouldn't be speaking about things so flippantly without more intensely being prepared and research for it, but that is refreshing to people. To see a black guy calling them out. It's the same reason a lot of people will gravitate to the likes of Modern Renaissance Man and Chaotic Truth Live. The difference is Chaotic Truth Live and Modern Renaissance Man are smart, accomplished people. With Dale, he's just on steroids and calls children gay for beating him in fighting games. No steroids for those chocobo legs. It looks like he's putting on a little bit of muscle on them. I don't know. Better than they were, I think. Nikolai would be at 20K at least. Exactly. Nikolai would be our Sean Ranklin. Vault Rep would be our Gulag Kingpin. Because I think this is actually the second time he's been mass flagged by Dale. I don't know if he went down the first time, but I know he was mass flagged by Dale before, and I know he beat the claims. He says he uses his fan base like a personal weapon, Vault, to use against anyone who doesn't bow to his lies. You think Cornstar would be 007? 007's a weirdo though, man. A Sallow workout video looking good. Oh, thank you, Wicked One. You ever my number one fan. I appreciate that immensely. I thought about doing like a workout stream to show you like how I work out from home with minimal equipment and like trying to appeal to people who don't know about fitness and getting them into fitness, and like how you don't need to buy a gym membership or buy a massive amount of equipment to do it. But let's face it, people would just roast me for not being roided out, because that's the image of male fitness today, tragically. But the important thing about Vault Rep, so yes, his alt channel in which he trolled Dale is now gone. But the important thing is that his main is not and will not go down because he doesn't do anything offensive on it. I think it's XIV. There we go. My friends, I encourage you, if you are also allied against the terrible reign of Mr. Wilson, to support Vault 14 on his main channel. He's doing great stuff. I like tuning. He streams at night. I'd like to see. I saw he was doing like a webcam fun stream, but I don't think he reached it. But I'd like to see him take a step up with his streaming. I'd love it if he got on the webcam. I'd love to talk to him one day too, because I have a personal theory. I've always liked Vault Rep. I've always had a personal theory that he is in the British military. Specifically, I always theorized that he was like British Royal Air Force, and that's why he's so secure about his identity. You know, he's like the one time he showed himself on camera, he had the Vault Boy mask on, and the voice changer, of course. I mean, I'm not talking crap, but he definitely does use the voice changer, because it sucks that the Vault Rep channel is down now. But there was an early video, like I watched his earlier videos when they were coming out, and his voice sounded really normal, like a good voice too. But it makes sense that he would use a voice changer and use the mask, because I think he's got a lot to lose. I think he has a good career, is what I'm saying. I think he, unlike Daily Mountain Wilson, he's not just sitting in an apartment calling children gay for a living. You know, he's doing shit outside. Brudex says, do it, you'd like to follow that? Maybe. I don't take roids. Astrocode, I appreciate that. Yeah, you win. Astrocode, I got a theory, Astrocode. I think you're reverse image searching them, which I appreciate. Because Astrocode is like 4 for 4 when he guesses or something. That's a very good batting average. Astrocode's always hitting these home runs. Like, how did you know Saori? I refuse to believe that you played Blue Archive. Blue Archive is still tiny. And Saori is not in the American version yet. But that's not against the rules, so you win. You play the game? No shit. So can I blame Dale, though? He's willing to take any low on anybody who dares question him. That's true. But again, if you want to support Vault Rep, go to the description of this video, or actually I could post it in chat too, right? Said you'll DM me your account. we're gonna talk shit about gacha games sometime in the future for us. No, but not on this stream because this is a shorter stream. But all right, I respect it, Astrocode. I respect it. Seems like you and I would get along well. Anyone who wants to support Vault Rep, hit that link. Give him a sub. He'll probably go live tonight. He always goes live at night in America, but probably a more normal time for him in Europe. Because he's in GMT, right? He's just in flat. Like 9 hours apart from me. He did dox himself. Now let's move on to Mr. Lazarus. Mr. Ray Lazarus. So I don't know why the hell Ray Lazarus is pissed, but he's pissed right now. No, wait, before Ray. I want to save Ray for the last. I was going to say on the stream for the Dale update that Dale has actually been boring this week, right? Nothing interesting from Dale. But that pretty much changed yesterday. So, start the Dale update with, 1, the smoke alarm is still going off. And we are officially at 32 days and 11 hours since we first noticed it as trolls. That's over a month that the smoke alarm has been going off every other minute. And mind you, this man spends all his damn time at home. Yeah, low tier Kirby, a lot of people like just subscribe to you and kind of forget about it, and like then when you upload something or a stream or something, they just hit that unsub button once they remember you. Kind of a catch-22. But yeah, man, that smoke alarm battery has been going off for over a goddamn month. I mentioned earlier in this business trip that I'm taking, earlier in the stream that I'm taking a business trip tomorrow, right? Well, it's going to be to Los Angeles, actually. I was thinking about donating a D battery if I run across someone in my travels. That's all I'm saying. Because that is ridiculous, dude. That is flatly ridiculous. Mind you, he spends all his time at home. He is just sitting there. No, it was on there yesterday, yeah. He is just sitting there. And every other minute, a loud chirp. And he has animals too. Animals with more sensitive ears. He only has 2 cats. But I remember when like a smoke alarm in here was messed up. And I was such a dumbass, I didn't realize it was the smoke alarm unplugged from the wall. The carbon monoxide one that I unplugged from the wall. And I was going back and forth like from the hardware store trying to figure out what it was. And like buying a ladder because it's 21 feet up in the goddamn air. And I felt terrible because I knew Igor, my handsome boy, right here. I knew my handsome boy right here was probably getting hurt by the smoke alarm going off. And I have an immense sense of guilt towards this boy. He has me wrapped around his finger. But his poor cats have to sit through that. The cats are probably deaf. Exactly, Michelle. Yeah, remember, Dale is a boss. Boss man, boss money. And the funny thing is about all this, right, like I mentioned it last time, it's not even on him to change the smoke alarm. He lives in an apartment, which means that all he has to do is tell his landlord, hey, can you change the smoke alarm? That's one of the few perks of living in an apartment. It's like the light goes out, they fix it. The refrigerator goes out, they fix it. So we got to save Dex from Daily. Doesn't he have 2 cats? Birdie Bites Hog, to answer your question, they're all connected through me. Yeah, I might have to break in and save the cats. You ran out of weed, so now you smoke alarms. Well, you know what? I'm happy. That's a healthier call for you. So that was pretty boring this week until yesterday. The only thing I was even going to mention in the Dale update was that he played The Last of Us 2. No troll has clipped it yet. But he played The Last of Us 2, and I don't know shit about the game. But there was a boss fight, and he died, I think, 42 times to it. He died 42 times in a very easy boss fight. And it was really... It was one of the few times I've actually been legitimately entertained watching him for quite a few years. because he just could not figure out what is apparently a very easy boss fight. And it's like, he always says he only rages at fighting games for fun, but he was losing his mind in a simple boss fight in a simple video game. So Dale was boring until yesterday. Yesterday was when he got CapiTroll banned. And the other thing he did that I found a little bit something funny was that this garbage video. So this big boy named Playback, gentleman has like sorry about that. Gentleman has like, I don't know, 500k subs on YouTube. He briefly tangentially mentions Dale for a second, right? He just says, I think Trevor actually hooked me up with the exact clip, but I might have lost it. No, there it was. So here's what he says.
And I'm sitting, I gotta hear here and listen to this bozo. What's his nigga name? Low tier god.
And that was literally it. A 5-second mention. He just mentions the fact that Low Tier God complained about Kai Cenat, using nigga in his videos and all this type of shit, and that's why you're not going to be platformed on the main page of Twitch. And the hilarious thing is, just off the bat, right? 10-second mention from Big Boy over here. How does Dale respond? 16 minutes and 53 seconds. It's like, regardless of how much you say, I'm not clout chasing in my videos, the fact is, the numbers speak for themselves in all things in life, right? You added Corey Kenshin, Kai Cenat, and Gideon 4 times in a row, all while saying, I'm not clout chasing. You at this guy with a 20-minute video because he mentioned you for 10 seconds. And it's like, but mind you, God forbid any troll like Slayer or Trevor uploads a video about Low Tier God. They're obsessed, right? That's the amazing thing that Dale fans hold you to. The other funny thing about this video was that he brought up Destiny, just barely tangentially mentioning him. We already covered this on stream, on the No Jumper podcast. And he was like, see, this is why when white people mention me on stream, they're always on my side. It's when niggas mention me that they're always against me and talking shit. It's like, well, I don't think that's universally true, right? Like, the Covenant is made up of people like Andronicus Azrael and other complete sycophants who would never divest from Dale, no matter what he did. Like, he was talking about, I believe it was Big Nasty. Like, he would tell Big Nasty, send me nude images of your girl, and Big Nasty would do it just to earn his favor. All I have to say is that hashtag not all white content creators are on your side, Dale. I know I'm Native American, but hashtag not all white content creators. But I think, so the reason he mentioned Destiny at length here, he really wants to get in with Destiny, and that would be like just a meeting of the two most insufferable streamers on YouTube. It's gonna happen. It's going to happen, and Destiny is going to feel like a genius, and Dale's going to feel, as he likes to say, swiggity swaggity, and they're going to collab, and they're going to talk about stuff that Dale has never even thought about, and stuff that Destiny has researched by browsing the Wikipedia article of, and they're going to become good friends. I'm calling it right now. They're going to become friends. A true meeting of the... It's a who's who of America right here, right? You got this white guy suffering from illusory superiority who thinks he is the smartest person in the world. And then you have this black guy suffering from illusory superiority who thinks he is the pinnacle of masculinity. And they're going to get together and they're going to be best friends. So Dale and Destiny, yeah, it's going to happen. All the chat got... Hashtag not all white content creators. Amen, Kirby. Yeah, because Destiny even did a whole stream. I mean, he barely got through it, where he was just playing Dale clips, troll clips. See, this is why we turn on subscriber mode, right? So, a friend of the channel named Rooster Cake. Was asking if you have to join to chat. I've never turned on members only mode in the chat, and I never will. I only ever turn on 1 minute subscriber mode because it prevents crap like that. Like, I don't care if people sub and then unsub right away just to chat. But some people think I'm doing it just to get my numbers up, and I'm not. But anyway. So that was really it as far as Dale himself, but you know who did go crazy? Mentioned it earlier. The dragon of Mr. Low Tier God named Ray Lazarus. Ray Lazarus went absolutely crazy this week, and I don't know why. He got pissed or something. I don't know why. But God bless him for it. And at first he left a few comments on my videos that I saw. See if I have them pulled up. So, first we have my man Lazarus. He jumped in my recent stream chat. Or excuse me, this is a stream from 2 weeks ago, but he just commented this a few days ago. He said, quit ducking me. Actually, before he posted this comment, which was really interesting. On the Isabella Jakey is Obsessed With Me stream, so that's a few weeks ago. So we aren't going to fight this year. I thought we were supposed to fight at the beginning of summer. Also, don't let rumor fool you. I was careful over concrete because they weren't from the internet and it was a random encounter. But still taught 2 people a lesson for their nonsense. Amen. I never talked shit about his encounter with the 2 gentlemen, right? Like, actually, the person who brought it up was during the Brittany Gates interview. Trevor asked me about it, and I was about to comment on it, and literally the moment I was about to comment, Brittany Gates joined the stream. So I actually, just by coincidence, even though it's something that certainly interests me, I never got to talk about it. So one of the 2 was all talk and didn't want to advance on me. I'm not saying that's you, but we need to get this rolling if you still want it to happen. I feel that. I've been bored for a year now. Goddamn. So, and then he writes, and he deleted this comment and deleted this line and then reposted the comment, which was really interesting to me. He wrote, also, yes, LTG is still the best streamer on YouTube and a great friend. In case you were wondering to ask me. Some of the people that follow you, and I'm guessing yourself included, think that I'm just being used or me and him don't associate. That would be incorrect. Anyway, hurry up. It's time to do this shit. You made it feel less personal with these delays, which kills the vibe of trying to set this up and is boring. Okay, fair enough. But these few sentences right here was really interesting to me. I believe you, Mr. Lazarus. I do believe that Mr. Wilson associates with you a lot behind closed doors. But what we need to do, and thank you, Stainbrine. I should have had this prepared in advance. But Stainbrine thankfully records every Dale stream. Excuse me, it's Stainbine, not Stainbrine. Let's see if we can find Dale reacting. Because Dale was going to make a video about it, but he never did. A video wherein he reacted to Lazarus getting into that fight. Because we unfortunately can't watch the fight ourselves now. Yeah, thank you. I found it. I should have had this prepared in advance. But there was one thing I wanted to point out about this. Yeah, as you guys already know, like, for whatever reason, Mr. Wilson will not. Mr. Wilson forbade Mr. Lazarus from mentioning him in his videos whatsoever. Ray had that old channel with 1,000 subs, and I think around the time that he started talking shit about Vault Rep, because he did say to me straight up that my assumption was correct. Dale did ask him, and I think it was about the time he was talking crap about Vault Rep. Dale basically said, you gotta stop mentioning me in your videos. It's bad for my brand. And then there was this interesting part right here where Mr. Wilson is reacting to Ray's video of him getting into a fight with the 2 guys. And this VOD is also the only way we can watch Ray's video now. I tried to download Ray's video myself, but because it was family restricted or age restricted, YouTube DL didn't. I should not have mentioned that. The stream might get pulled for that, actually. But a certain program didn't work for me. And I couldn't download his video, and I like I was saying earlier, I'm lazy, so I gave up pretty quick. I don't know if I have the exact clip
So I got
He's scratching his head right away.
something special for you guys that I think is hilarious.
But the interesting thing I want you to note here.
Now, for all the people that's here, she defends Tate in that video. Okay, I'm not gonna watch it. I thought it was gonna be like some real exposing. So, no video games topics. Thanks for the 10. We'll see where the night takes us. Right now, I'm just chilling. I'm not even worried about what's going on. Like, the last thing I'm thinking about is games.
I agree,
right
Doc
now.
Lock.
All right.
Well, I'm pretty short and stocky, Secularis. It would be a very fun fight, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. Like I said, I should have prepared this in advance. But what I'm trying to highlight here is that on the stream in which Dale reacted to Ray, for whatever reason, Dale wouldn't even say Ray's name at first. There's a point here where Dale even goes, "I don't want to say his name, but it's CL," talking about Covenant Lazarus.
Let me know when my mic is acting weird. Do I think college is worth it? Not unless you're doing law, medical.
I don't know if you'll find it. Because he goes on for a while.
Engineering.
This is a few minutes.
Shit
here.
like that. Outside of that, because of my, I'm streaming off the old PC. I personally have not watched it yet because I wanted to save it for you guys. But, you know, one of my classic...
Here we go. Right here. He's not going to say his name. Pay attention to this.
Mods. I got a video featuring one of my classic mods.
He's just alluding
now,
to
it's not
Mr. Lazarus.
featuring me.
He's not mentioning Lazarus by name. It's
not
very
featuring
telling.
Me. It's
Big ups, Shoka.
It's not featuring me. It's featuring one of my classic mods. Am I doing? Yeah, I'm gonna do that topic.
Right here.
Make sure when those things pop up, guys, you report that shit for the capital T.
Why are you guys all shitting on Covenant Femboy, by the way?
What's the initials? CL.
See right there. The reason I'm pointing this out, Mr. Lazarus, it's very easy to be privately respectful to someone, yet publicly disassociate from them, right? The measure of a person is not who they are behind closed doors. I mean, that can be. What I'm saying is, it's not really... You can't measure how someone treats another person based on, you know, the goading, the coaxing, and the massaging that they do behind closed doors. It's about how they treat you in public. Okay, if I got Astro Code V here, and privately we're DMing, man, I love Souri's midriff in Blue Archive, don't you? Yeah. But then I go on my stream and I'm like, actually, Astro Code V, you suck. You suck ass. I hate you. But then in private I'm saying, oh no, I'm just saying that because, you know, I want to get the stream viewers up, but, you know, you and I, we're still cool, right? It's easy to do that. It's snake shit to do that, in my opinion. It's very serpentine. It's very... What's up, Jack? It's very... How should I say? Riddled with skullduggery to do that to someone. It's unappreciative. Because the fact is, Mr. Lazarus, when you die, and when Mr. Wilson dies, and unfortunately it will happen one day, no one's going to remember what happened behind closed doors. No one's going to remember all those cool YouTube, all those cool Facebook DMs you guys had between each other. They're going to remember the fact that Dale wouldn't even mention your name on stream after you hooked him up with this exclusive video. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you guys aren't close friends behind closed doors, but what I am saying... Yeah, Igor's on my lap right now, under a blanket. He's falling asleep. He's dead asleep. No, Laz, he came back from the dead. David. All I'm saying is that life is a legacy in that way. And it's about what you do to people in a manner that has consequences. When I privately gas you up, No one else sees it, and I can do whatever I want, and I can inflate your ego as much as I want to. But it takes bravery to stick by a friend when they go through controversy, like all, hashtag cancellations, right? If you got a friend who's getting canceled for transphobia, it's not brave of you to support them behind closed doors, but tear into them on your public Twitter feed. It's not brave of you. Being a true friend is being brave enough to stand by them. That's all I'm saying. And in that regard, I think Mr. Wilson has done you dirty, Mr. Lazarus, because you have done so much for this man. People don't remember this, but back in 2014, 2015, Ray was basically the only loyal mod. Like half the mods that Dale had were actually against him and secretly banning supporters and whatnot. And I would always jump into Mr. Wilson's chat. Remember, I was a kid at the time. And I would troll. Not in a malicious manner. I would say stuff like, "Hey, yo, your lips are looking A1 tonight, man. But that hair is looking a little frilly. Maybe you need me to come over and help you comb it." I would say stuff like that the other mods wouldn't even realize was trolling. But Ray Lazarus was so laser focused on keeping Dale's chat air clean that he was the only one who would ever notice me and ban me. So it's funny that, it's almost, I told you guys, it's poetic that a decade later, Ray publicly hates me and, really wants to beat the shit out of me, and God bless him. Because he probably doesn't remember that, a decade ago, he and I despised each other under various names. So that's all that is to say is that Lazarus has done so much publicly for Mr. Wilson, and I'd like to see it repaid, because I would repay, all my mods here, Wicked One, T-Dupes, 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 you and I had a bit of a something that I thought would make me never trust you again based on whom you were friends with, to put it lightly. But you stood by me as a friend publicly. And I respect that immensely, and I reciprocate that publicly. And that's why you and I, T-Dupes, are friends. And I'm not going to try to put you in my closet and use you to send the emails threatening everyone I hate while publicly refusing to even utter your name on stream. I just did more for T-Dupes by saying her name right now than Mr. Lazarus was willing to do after Ray hooks him up with a clip of himself fighting two dudes in the street. The unfortunate thing is that...
CL.
See, he does it again. CL. The unfortunate thing is that this VOD is now the only way...
If you guys guess it, I'm not going to tell you, but...
Even that. I forgot that part was in there. That's
one of
insane.
my classic mods. All right, so I got something I want to react to.
That's
so
insane.
Everybody is here watching. Nah, not CLMF.
CLMF.
If everybody is here watching, you'll be able to see the
Nukenator,
video
always good to see you, buddy.
right here, right now, with no blur. If you're watching a video, it's gonna be a blur, but
so this never got made into a video,
link
unfortunately.
will be in the description.
And the reason for it is because Dale was disappointed by how
so without
unexciting
further
it was.
ado,
Exactly,
let's go ahead
Frost
and get
Nova.
this going. Let's go ahead and get this going.
So I keep
There'll be a lot of
trying to say it,
double
but
energy.
said a lot of double O energy. For those of you who don't know, double O, I can't say it on chat, but I'll say it. I can't say it on in stream because I might get told for it. Equals. That's what double O means.
Lot of double O energy.
This is the only way we can see this video anymore. Like, Dale's reaction is the only way we could see the video because Ray private.
Lot of double O energy. All right, guys, back at you with another reaction. You already know who it is, just in case you don't.
All right, shut up, Dale. Let's play the video.
This reaction.
Man, I forgot that he always does this. So this all was really interesting to me. So basically, what happened was that Ray flagged the guys down. I think
Right, so
what happened
as
was
we
Ray
start-
flagged them down for driving like fools.
Remember, guys, if you're not
Or
a
at least
part
as
of
he
my,
thought
if
of.
you're not a part of my organization, if you're not green,
No one cares though.
blue light filters now. You know, I moved on to other.
Gotta put the old man glasses on.
Powders or something. But all right. So, look, we got double O energy, baby.
Agreed,
Let's check it out. All right. So, it looks like this dude just got off work, took off his vest.
And Ray was saying something like, "You talking about my girl? We're gonna fight 1-on-1." He said, "Nigga, you a crazy ass driver or something."
Yeah. Okay. So the black dude, he seems like he's a little bit. You know, the first guy seems like he's not 100% a double O.
Laz is like 35, too, for us.
Because he seems like he might be slightly trying to reason, right? You know, he got his arms crossed. You know.
Oh,
he
was
says,
double O
"Why do you
used back in
wanna
the day?
fight?"
I didn't know.
You know, a regular agent would have been like, "What's good, baby? Hey, you was on that type of time? All right."
Oh, you rage called
You
the
know,
other
they
double
came
O.
out with the ghetto
Set a
squads
Best
ready
Buy
to
vest.
go. You know. But you know,
I think the slap is coming up here. See, he's saying, "Why you flagging me to pull over?" So that's why I
damn,
think
alright,
Ray probably did flag him to pull
So-
over to start some shit.
you know, my top guy flag.
I think this is a slap right here. Look at that slap, that backhand slap. It backhand slap that man. I was stunned. So a lot of people, I think Imo actually was saying that he thinks that this moment wasn't authentic. Like Imo was saying this shit is fake. No, I think it's 100% real. I think this interaction is 100% real.
Oh shit!
My top guy that he won't name in a stream, exactly.
Oh, my guy last backhanded him.
Well, look,
Shit.
in defense, Solex, you know what? You know what I would say about that slap? Ray Lazarus showed a great understanding of his punching distance, right? He
Now,
showed a
look,
great understanding of his
Me
wingspan.
personally, I don't want to make this a capital R issue.
Was my take on the N
Let's
word?
go ahead and rewind that slap.
It's
It's
a great word.
This is not fake. This is actually one of my classic mods. A lot of you guys know.
yeah, but at least he knows
Lazarus.
his distance.
So he flags over Devontae.
So he got so excited he actually accidentally
And
mentioned
Devontae was sitting there with his arms
Ray's
crossed,
name right there.
and Lazarus gave him the Agent 42 backhand from the Matrix.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! Hold on. Damn.
He turned that man around. Look, Ray showed some power, didn't
My
he?
guy last backhanded him.
Listen, there's one thing we can't deny about
I'm gonna
Ray.
be very fair about the situation.
He's got power.
We're in 2022. Now, if anybody see this video,
It sucks having to react to a reaction because we
You
can't
know that-
watch the original.
uppercuts, 50.
So his wife gets out of his car and
Is that
actually.
respecting kids? What are you talking about kids for?
I don't know if we can find that moment.
Can you get away from me, please?
Yeah, right there, the guy that I think was the first guy that Ray slapped. was saying that he would slap Ray's kid, and I thought that, you know, any goodwill like you had towards these guys because they got slapped first, right? Like, so they could have been in the right to be in self-defense. They burned that right away, right, by coming up to the wife and then saying, "I'm gonna slap your kid." Like, why are you gonna slap his kid? Why are you gonna touch his kid? So that's why I actually didn't think it was like a. I didn't think the video was 100% against Ray, right?
Yeah, my
Like,
kids see what's going on with it.
I wasn't happy with the.
You said you smacked them kids?
And his wife calls it
What are
out
you talking
too.
about kids for?
I don't know who the other guy you just mentioned is, David.
Wait, why is the video cut? Where is the hands?
And my personal, I agree with Dale right here. My personal theory is that Ray cut it. Ray was saying that he censored it because there was an investigation going on and he didn't want to like overplay his hand. And I don't think it's fake. Okay, I think it's 100% real. Ray was saying that he censored it because
I'm
you know,
trying to see the actual fade.
risk of going to jail. But I don't know. I do think he censored it. I think he just censored it because he found certain parts
I
of
didn't
it
see
boring.
no ghetto 50 frame startups. Huh.
Ray with that slap, he's keeping him back. He's got those hands, doesn't he? He's got that wingspan. He squares up on both of them at once. Like, he's lucky they didn't double team him. I think there's some point in the video where they just say, you know, we're just gonna call the cops because you touched us and we didn't touch you yet.
I'm thinking that the guy that
And they're
got
right
slapped,
about that.
I don't think he took that shit serious.
Although, thank you, Bella. I appreciate that, but I don't mind about the likes or anything.
Damn, he gave him the ghetto wide leg stance. And all you'd have to do is go for an inside calf kick.
If a man hit you like that, stop talking like you could throw a kick. Please, I'm not trying to be mean, but this man has never thrown a kick in his life. Said no lie, if a man hit me like that,
Said, oh, you go kick.
screw the force of the hit, the form would make me go off. Yeah, I bet. Ray was ready to duo dance. Ray was gonna lay down the law.
You didn't have a shape up or nothing.
Ray was gonna.
But see,
John B.
when you dealing with those
Too
those
kind, my
ghetto
friend. I appreciate that
Tyrones
immensely.
That got this hefty EBT
Thank you
build,
so much.
You got to be careful.
If you want in the Discord, just hit me up.
Grab you.
Anyone who's
and
a member.
Put you on concrete head first.
I'm just redoing
So
the Discord
while you
right now.
might be
I'll eventually
comfortable
open it to the
throwing that
public
leg
again
kick,
too.
That level 5 Tyrone with the EBT build filled with the greases, the government cheeses, the hot pockets, the Kool-Aid,
David Zembra.
and Capri Suns.
Do I think I can handle Laz's
Look,
amazing pressure?
You better be
Ray's
careful
a big
to
boy.
watch out for a slam.
That's a strength that he brings to a fight, right? He can put that pressure on you. He got the power. He got the strength. He got the big boy physique. Yeah, thank you so much, John B. Again, that means a lot to me. Like, the memberships mean the most to me because we get that banner saying thank you, members on YouTube. Ray's like, what's up? Back up. Damn, he pushed that man and threw another slap. He's only throwing slaps, no, he's holding back.
I'm gonna give a.
He's holding back. He's
to the guy with the braids. To the brother with the braids. I
Ray's
like
saving
the
his
strength.
secret weapons because that's what a true warrior does. He's saving his secret
This
weapons.
was a video.
He got drive. He got
So
power.
far, I feel like
Ray has those
I like the
intangibles that you
restraint,
can't
because
teach.
If I got
Ray has those intangibles you can't teach. Like, Ray's just a natural fighter. He's just he's a natural. Like, if he had gone into boxing when he was a 16-year-old, he'd have been a champion by now. We'd be talking about, the cruiserweight Tyson Fury.
slapped,
That was just casually racist, especially towards his own. It's not surprising anymore. Yeah, it's just, like I said, we
Well, you know
just
what? I'm not gonna
expect it
front.
now.
If I got slapped and I felt that maybe I could beat the guy up, or it would have been an unfair fight. Not saying.
Well, he's got the
Lazarus
Stockton
got the
slaps.
Agent
Yeah, he got the
32
South
range.
Carolina slaps. He got
But-
the was it Greenville? The Greenville slap.
I might have laughed it off too. I don't know. It depends on what kind of day I was
That's
having.
exactly right. T-Dubs. Ray is scrappy.
I don't
Ray's
know.
just-
It
he's
depends on
natural.
what
He's
type
a
of
natural
day I was
fighter.
having. Like, you don't know if somebody could pull out a blade. You start grabbing, they go.
Like
and you like, so
Yo, Mo, I was thinking about doing a battle short of Charlie Zolnoff versus Ray and seeing how Ray liked it.
I would have been like, I would have got, I Ah, that's what we doing. I mean, you know what? It's cool, bro. When you took that dub, I lost.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
That's one thing I will say.
That's why you can't get crazy like that in public. You don't know who's carrying.
I like the restraint because I feel like.
Was I being sarcastic?
Maybe double O's are evolving. Because I feel like if this was like if this was in let's
maybe
just say
double
a
O's
split
are
second
evolving
of a different area, oh man, we would have had. It would have been, you know, a double whammy.
I agree, Frost Nova. Imagine if he lost his life in this altercation in front of his wife and kids. Like, he has something to lose.
Damn, he gave him the ghetto bob and weave with restraint. Look, my question is, are double O's evolving? Yeah, I think it's an area-based thing. So this
Exactly.
is in the South. So
like, his wife and kid are in danger here, and he's
since it's the South,
throwing hands with some randos over a traffic stop. I wouldn't do that. No.
Maybe agents are different, and it's like they know how.
But I'm not a natural warrior like Ray is. To be fair, like, Ray's a warrior. I'm just a introspective schmuck.
Let me ask you guys a question. If this was Long Beach, Crenshaw, you know,
Matt Fleur,
SoCal or NorCal,
I believe Ray flagged them over.
Would the agents be acting a little bit different?
Yeah, it would have to be a 2-on-1 Immo. He closed his car door for him. Ray's got that natty physique, you know. He's got that natty physique.
Yeah, look like. Oh, that.
And Dale's perspective of it is, wow, this is proof black people are evolving. Okay, fair enough. So the reason I brought that up is because Ray has been wanting me to react to that for a while, but the only thing we have now is Dale's VOD of it. And but the real reason that we're talking about Ray is because Ray jumped in my comments. I showed you that. He also left this comment on the most recent stream. He wrote, "Quick ducking me, or at least set me up versus this weakling, SlayerWSS, or whatever the fuck it is." They saw Laz and they got scared. That's what's up. They saw Laz and they got scared. He's got a nice whip. Laz got the Laz has the bag. That's one of the things, Laz is a rich man now. Laz has the money now. It's like when you're a fighter and you become rich, all of a sudden that hunger isn't there anymore, right? It's just like Conor McGregor. Ray is like Conor McGregor. Ray is Conor McGregor. He got hungry and now he's not a fighter anymore. Let's say it straight up. Ray is Conor McGregor. In fact, now that I think about it, I can't really tell the two apart except Ray's a little bit taller. Anyway, now Ray's saying he wants to beat the shit out of Slayer. The problem is Slayer is in LA. And speaking of, I need to hit Slayer and Trevor up because I'm going to be in LA tomorrow, right? Maybe we can meet up and have a little, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'd be terrified of Ray. No, it's just a fighter's physique, bro. So you wonder if Laz is in SOS somewhere lurking? I doubt it. Laz isn't the type of person who can, keep his eccentric personality under wraps to play the spy game. And after these comments, in addition to the one I already showed you that started all this, Mr. Lazarus uploaded a video. Here's the thumbnail of the video. You go, Saldon, it's been a long time. When do we get to do this? But what I love is the thumbnail. It says, "I want my safe space." I want my safe space. Yeah, give me my safe space. Oh, I'm not even going to pick him up. I was going to show you Igor again as an indication of what my safe space is. But Igor is just dead on my lap. He's got a blanket over him and he's just... I don't know if you can hear him sighing, but he's snoring and he is very content right now. But anyway, I want my safe space. So let's watch this video together because it's a very good video. Like, I'd probably, out of the old YouTube rating system, I'd give this video a good 4 out of 5. So I downloaded it just in case it goes down. And right off the bat, my man kind of betrays me here. So he shows a private email that we had together, and that kind of annoyed me. Like, I get why he did. The reason he did it is because high tier Gucci made videos wherein he showed all of his correspondence with Ray, and like, so now Ray is kind of getting his revenge. But Mr. Lazarus, I'm not high tier Gucci. I'm a gentleman, and I'm really glad I didn't reveal too much about myself in it. But he does now. Everyone knows that I'm oscillating between California and Washington right now, which I'd prefer them not know, because obviously, like you were just saying, Isabella Janke would love to send a bomb in my mouth.
I need everybody to realize one thing before I show you this. Actually, I'm showing it to you right now, so you can look at it anytime you want. Read all those words carefully. And yes, I'm recording with a phone because I don't feel like internally recording from my fucking crazy computer and big-ass TV.
He has 8,000 unread emails.
This is what he sent me December of last year. And I replied like a month later because I didn't realize he was in my inbox. It's a long-ass time ago. I just wanted to say that, yeah, he tried. And I said, let's do this shit ASAP. But he doesn't want to fucking actually do it. It sucks. I thought we were going to kill boredom of your viewers. I noticed ever since you gained more viewers for chasing after this whole Isabella shit and trying to act like you're above low tier God, I noticed you gained viewers after that.
You just can't win. What he said right there was that you started chasing after Isabella and pretending that you're above low tier God. So one, it's hilarious that he, I never thought the day would come that Ray would mention Isabella Janke in a video. God bless. I love crossovers so much, and I love seeing the worlds that I love collide. But two, he says, I'm not doing as many Dale videos to show I'm above low tier God. It's like, when it comes to low tier God's fan base, and this isn't even necessarily Ray, but this is definitely what happens. Anytime you make a single fucking video about Dale, 1 million fatherless boys jump in your comments to call you obsessed. Now anytime you make videos and Dale isn't the focus, you're just trying to show you're better than low tier God. So what do you want? Like, can anyone win? It's like, when it comes to Dale sexuals, there's no pleasing them. Like, when it comes to the covenant, the cuckoning, right? Like, they are just impossible to please. Either you're obsessed with Dale because you're making videos about him, or you think you're above Dale because you're not making videos about him. It blows my mind. Nukenator says you can't win with people like these. You just have to bounce at that point. I agree.
But in real life, you've gained nothing.
In real life, I've gained nothing.
You gained a little bit of fear. Every time I've ever talked to you, you said some excuse about preparing. As if someone needs to prepare to fucking fight. Like, what are you talking about? Give me time to prepare. I'm always prepared.
So he zoomed in on the point where I said give you ample time to prepare. Like, again, I was just being a gentleman.
The fuck you talking about, man? I ain't even trying to cuss like that, but listen. I'm ready now. You're not. I guess that's how it's gonna remain. You just ain't ready. I got a wife and a son. Come to my area. You said you'd be here long ago. As you can see, it says right there. It's strange to me you say you're a New York native, but you oscillate between California and Washington. No, you don't. Like, what the fuck are you trying to... who are you trying to trick here?
When I touch down in Los Angeles tomorrow, I'm going to upload a short of me in the LA airport. Since he... is saying straight up that I'm lying. You've already seen me in New York City, right? The video wherein I helped that Josie out. The video wherein I helped out the girl who was the old lady was trying to scam. So you've already seen me in New York City. And yes, I am a proud New York. Not proud, I shouldn't say. But you can tell by my accent I'm from New York, goddammit. But don't worry, I'll upload a short of me tomorrow in Cali.
Come on, Ben.
And he calls me Ben. I think most people know my name. I don't know why he's insisting on calling me Ben. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know why he felt this was necessary. Like, the simple fact of the matter, Mr. Lazarus, and I'll talk about it more in the short I do tomorrow, is that, yes, I have a full-time career, my friend. I do not have a family as you do. God bless you. You have a beautiful wife, a beautiful kid. God bless you. I also like the way that his wife was on his side in the video wherein he was in the traffic altercation. Like, it surprised me how aggressive she was. Like, he got himself a nice little aggressive mama. A little something, something. But, thank you for saying my name. But the other thing, what the hell was I saying? Yeah, so I have a full-time career, and yes, I do take myriad business trips, not of my own accord. You think I want to go to California tomorrow? Hell no. I just want to be home, playing with my dogs. And my answer to Mr. Lazarus is the same. Like, I have never been to South Carolina in my life. If I wind up near Greenville due to a business trip, I'll be there. And we can make a video about it, and you can beat the shit out of me, and we'll both get 1 million views off of it. We'll both get Wikipedia pages off of it. But no, I think it would actually be a cool moment if I did wind up in South Carolina. Yeah, he's got a beautiful wife. What of it? He said, you hate when internet people ask, what have you accomplished, and act like their internet persona is a badge of honor. Lazarus is just so envious of you, you can't tell me otherwise. One thing I know bothers Mr. Lazarus is that when he got banned, he lost his 1,000 subscribers. He got an aggressive, cool Spanish piece. Just like Mr. Wilson and Miss Janky together. Well said, channel. But yeah. Like, I'm more than willing to do it. But I am not going to travel to from California or from Washington to you in South Carolina of my own accord. Like, you're literally across the continent from me right now. You are across the continent. And it's like, you go there on a vacation. Like, I thought about something like that. Like, maybe the next time I'm in New York. Because I'm only in Washington for my job. But the next time I'm in New York, I guess New York isn't so far from South Carolina. But even that's a plane ride. Yeah, next time we go live, I'm turning on sub-only mode. I'm sorry. But even that's a plane ride. Even that's an annoyance, right? That's my own expense. And yes, I can afford it. But it's a time to me, honestly. I hate traveling. Let me say that straight up. I despise traveling. Everything wrong in the world goes traveling. I will never understand these people who enjoy traveling. The only thing I enjoy about the business trips I go on is that I get a lot of money out of it in per diem. But me, I just want to be home with my dogs all day. That's really all I want in the world. And when I have a family, I want to be home with them all day. That's all I'll ever want. But traveling, like the last time I was in New York, for example, like my bags got lost. There was traffic up the ass. On my flight, I went from New York to Boston. And I got held over. And I spent a day in the LaGuardia airport. Traveling is a nightmare. I hate traveling. If I ever wind up near or in Greenville, hell yes. That's the only answer I can proffer to you, Mr. Lazarus. And it's the same answer I've always proffered to you. I'm sorry. Amen, John B. Amen, JDX. A stay-at-home husband, yeah. Or even a work-at-home husband. Like, that's the dream, man. That's the dream. That's the only good thing about, like, all these people who are full-time streamers. Like, I don't like that as a profession. But God bless them. They have their own thing going on. And last but not least, Ray asked, how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it, big boy? Now, I have the perfect answer. This is how we're going to do it.
Оси на середину.
Did you guys see this? This is called punch fall. You make it seem like I'm a U.S. Marshal. So the rules of this, I actually don't know the exact rules. It's in Russian, and they used to have the closed captioning on, but then they decided to disable it later. But the rules of it, it's basically like shoot boxing, I think. I don't think you're allowed to grapple straight up. You're allowed to, like, throw. So it's like shoot boxing. And the thing is, you get knocked out of the ring. Apologies for that. You get knocked out of the ring into the water, you lose. I think if we fight, this is how it has to be, right? Yeah, Russians are a different breed. They're just... Russians are physical specimens. But one thing that you notice about this right away, so the reason that this is so appealing, like, as something to watch, is because it appeals to our, like, we've always loved ring outs, the concept of a ring out, like, whether it's real life in sumo wrestling or whether it's like fiction, like fucking tournament arcs like Dragon Ball or Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, people always love the idea that you get forced out of the ring, you lose, kind of King of the Hill style. Here it's even more dramatic. You get forced out of the ring, you get knocked into the water where all the parasites eat your brain. This needs to be Slayer and Dale fight as well, I agree. But one thing...
Who you got in a fight, Deontay Wilder or Laz?
I think Laz wins that fight. Thank you so much for the donation. That's super, super kind of you. I appreciate it immensely. But yeah, I think Laz needs to avenge Charlie Zelenoff. It's funny you bring that up because, like, when Dale was telling me he wanted to beat me up, I was like, yeah, we can do it. We could be like Wilder versus Zelenoff too. No one watched that because they thought Zelenoff had a chance. They watched it because they wanted to see Wilder beat up a troll. And Dale could have easily built it that way, like a much smaller troll. You know? But yeah, I think Laz takes Zelenoff because Laz got the heart. Laz got that warrior spirit. You know, Wilder, he's a professional boxer. He's a heavyweight, yeah. But the thing about Laz is that he's a warrior. You know, he has intangibles that you just can't teach. You can teach people to throw a 1-2-3-2 with perfect form. You can't teach people to be fearless. You can't teach people to have the power that Ray has in that right hand. That knock you out, put you out for life right hand that Ray Lazarus got. So the thing about this too is that if we fought like this, it would totally favor Laz, right? Because any system in which a ring out is a lose condition favors the bigger guy, because it's easy for the bigger guy to come forward, and like bigger guy and the smaller guy come forward, right? The bigger guy's gonna push the other guy away naturally. That's why boxing has, you know, ropes and MMA has a cage wall. Because yeah, exactly, Michelle. Because otherwise, the bigger guy, whoever comes forward more, wins. We're always attracted to that. Like, people hate seeing like Israel Adesanya sick and slick to his way to a decision win, but you know, sometimes that's the only way you can win when you're the smaller guy. You need to use your speed, you need to use your elusivity. And look at their ring girl. You know what I was thinking about their ring girls? Like, they should have just gone to the local college and asked like the swim team girls to do it instead, right? Like, give them a plug, since the whole theme is water and whatnot. But instead you get some random bartender. Because like female athletes don't get enough attention. So I was just thinking, like, if I were the Dana White of this promotion, I'd have like swim team girls. Or you could be Manny Pacquiao. That's true. That's exactly right, Frost Nova. Imagine if you get knocked out into the water. You're literally unconscious and drowning. That's the big problem with this. Who you guys got? Red trunks or black trunks? But again, I don't even know what the rule set is technically. It's not boxing. Or it might be. I think it's just shoot boxing because you're allowed to throw. But I don't see any of them kicking. But perhaps the thing about kicking is that, like, if you threw... Yeah, it's Russian. If you throw, like, a mid-kick or a high kick and get caught and tripped by that, you're going into the water. You got red trunks. Nukinator got red trunks. Matt got black. T-Dup's got money on black. Just do a... Yeah, he should just do a spinning bird kick.
Ну, нокаутом или сбросом в воду здесь и не пахнет. Видимо, первый раунд будет такой примерочный.
Активнее работаем.
О, пошла серия. Терминатор откидывает противника.
You just know that lake water is nasty ass water too. Like you know it's riddled with parasites. Hey, you like it, Emo? Dude, I love it. I want to see more of it. I love it.
Видно, бойцы аж воспряли. Ну вообще, если серьезно, у них вес одинаковый. Большое различие в росте. Да, но пока что оно критично не сыграло. Есть пробитие в живот.
Nice straight to the body, huh?
Начинает уже тяжело дышать.
You're waiting for Zangief to appear.
Больше энергии сохраняется, правда, пропустил сытный подзатыльник. А что ж дальше-то будет? С нетерпением ждем второго раунда.
I liked, man, we made it to round 2. Black Trunks kept throwing a jab to the head, straight to the body. That was his bread and butter that round. I don't like the bare knuckle shit. I don't like bare knuckle boxing, and I don't like it in this punch club either. It's like, and that girl looks underage too. I don't like it because it's like we've talked about on this channel, the gloves are for your hands. The gloves are not to protect the other person. The gloves are to prevent these delicate piano-playing instruments from getting broken in a million ways. Yeah, exactly, T-Dupes. See, they start with the shooting. Right as it shouldn't do so. Oh shit. Black almost got him out.
Продолжаем. Бой.
Да, инициатива явно сейчас справа. Сергей опять ныряет. Что ж творится-то, а? Захват!
Oh shit. Well, how do you score that? Who wins in that situation? Was it just a draw if you both fall in at the same time? Oh my god. Well, that's the way to go, just holding each other as you fall. And apparently that's the fight. It's a draw, I guess. I wish we had the closed captioning. I don't know why they turned it off. Yeah, Emma, would you ever do it? You said she looked 15? I hope not. Her face looked young, but her body looked old. And then they kissed. Look at that guy! So I don't think this fight was actually in this video, but it's like a members only episode 2. It was like one of the guys, he throws a kick in the air and then he just decides to jump off into the water. What the heck is that? He does some weird jumping shit. It's like he throws a flying knee to nothing and then he just jumps in the air. Yeah, Imo, that's the thing. Like, that's the big safety concern. Like, you get knocked out into the water. They better have lifeguards on deck. Send them to the gulag. I'd like to see it with an MMA rule set. Like, I'd like to see it with wrestling and grappling. That's what I'd like to see, because it looked like you're allowed to throw, but once you clinch, the ref breaks it up. Yeah, he rage quit like that. You know what's funny though? If you're not able to swim, that makes this a lot more intimidating. The one last thing I wanted to show you guys, and we're gonna stream quit after this. I saw this video. Holy hell.
Yo, welcome to my apartment.
Yo,
This woman is renting a walk-in closet for $650 a month and proud of it because she's in my beautiful hometown in New York City. Castle Kingside versus Dale on there. I love that.
So it's nice because it's not in a random spot.
Like in Brooklyn.
Like, this video is at 3 million views. It's gone viral. I think part of the reason it goes viral is the fact that this lady, let's be straight, like, this lady is very attractive, right? Or at least she's decently attractive, right? Physically.
This is a kitchen, no oven.
I wanted to make a joke here.
They're so dirty.
If this lady were in the South, you know, she'd be a very beautiful belle of the ball, right?
This is very like college.
If this lady, where in California they'd be rolling out the red carpet for her wherever she goes. Like, she'd be a national treasure based on how physically beautiful she is. But this lady in New York City, she's just average. This is just how the average lady in New York City looks, actually. Like, I tell all my American heterosexual male friends, like, if you want to get a girlfriend, do it in New York City.
We have a makeup bin. And
Like, my best friend who's still in New York City trying to get out, like,
Sometimes,
that's what I'm
I
saying,
feel
too.
like I don't get it fresh. This is storage.
I think she's about to mention that she has pests in here.
Had food up here originally. There were like mice. The beginning.
People are calling this a steal. Imagine living in a $650 a month closet and you have mice and roaches. The roaches were the worst part of New York City. Man, you're horny. But imagine living in that cramped space and thinking it's a steal. Like, there are people in the comments section saying this is a steal for living in this part of Manhattan. I mean, you're living like an ant. What does it come to that this has become normalized, that this is worth $650 a month? That's why I fought so hard to get the hell out of my city. Yeah, parts of California are even worse, Nukinator. And you know what else is worse? She has a dog. She has a big dog. She says she takes to daycare, but it's like, daycare's expensive. And aren't you here to save money? Save $2,600 a month?
Yeah, exactly.
So should we shift into the living room area? Okay.
I know a lot of people would call it
Nice view of the TV.
animal abuse.
Reach over
Yeah, no more roaches, baby.
from the
That's the best reason to move out of New
I
York.
work in fashion, so those are all from my magazine that I write editorials for. And then semi-new to New York, a year, so it's like postcards and then they give you when you go to restaurants. And I like write memories. on
Some
them.
people would call it animal abuse. I feel that. Like, I definitely feel so terrible for that dog. But we also do have to remember that most dogs are living in terrible third world conditions where they're just used, fucking
Can we pull it out?
abused,
Can we
and
see it? So everything has
horrifically treated like garbage. So I'm happy that the dog is with the person who loves it, at least. Like, yeah, it's terrible.
Guessing they're like a surf brand.
It's definitely a little stiff.
I don't know why you're talking about bestiality, dude.
Why I have to like
That's
buy a
weird.
mattress pad every time friends come?
And where do you keep the mattress pad then?
Gotta return it because I don't. It's so
Yeah, you're paying less than 1K a month, but
The cupboard under the stairs.
this isn't living at all. Like, this doesn't even have a window.
Get something out, something else has to move.
This doesn't even have a goddamn window. And Vicky wanna say daycare is $25 a day at most places. Well, yeah, but think about it in New York, where it's probably like $100 a day.
There's literally
Manhattan.
one hole that goes across the
You said you
entire
bought a home for
wall.
45K because they won't let you have your dog in your last apartment. Amen, man.
Yeah, it's like a little tree house.
That's why Igor's
It
awake.
does actually feel a little bit like a treehouse. What about your neighbors? Can you hear them?
And he's looking out the window because some dog is barking out there.
It must be like right behind that wall.
Do the stairs lead up to this lofted space, which is your bed?
Yeah.
Can I try out your bed? This is something I ask everybody.
You can try it out.
I can try it out?
You can try it out.
Oh my
You want
goodness.
me to go first?
You go first.
Says you go first so
Yeah,
he
you
can
have
look at her
your shoes on.
booty.
Do you want me to take them off real quick?
Yeah, can you?
This is funny. We're really gonna know each other.
We are. We just want to thank you.
If you were an old person, you
And that moment is for all you feet guys out there.
Wow, holy shit. This is actually insane.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
Basically from this railing to the ceiling right here, that's like
So a lot of Japanese people live actually with
Yeah,
the
bring boys up here.
with the bed on like a loft above the living room.
I tell them like it's actually.
I would never live like that.
It's like they're like we won't judge you.
This is the fact that this is so. How would you?
The full test.
Yeah, she says it actually. She says I don't bring boys up here.
Like your mattresses.
Yeah.
We're just close to the ceiling.
We're super close. Don't hit your head. That's how close it is. You really gotta watch out.
Those are purses.
They're purses, bags.
Purses and bags. And then you have some more clothing hanging up over here. We just met and I'm just like in her bed. I mean, I guess people do this all the time, but not for a social media video. They're more like, you know, getting drinks at the bar. Then they end up in something's bed.
Imagine the claustrophobia. Just your.
Patio, so you're right there.
Imagine waking up with a nightmare. Like,
So how did you find this apartment?
So I found it on Street Easy. I was actually supposed to get the one below.
just smash your head all the time. People live like insects if they can get low rent. I'm so glad I live in the Southwest, wide open spaces, sometimes too open. I agree, Seculars.
Crazy. And she was like, I have one more open for you. There were so many.
So I'm someone who. I went to a really great high school. I went to a really great university, and I'm blessed intellectually. And I'm not trying to suck myself off, but, and I'm also from Brooklyn, New York. I was born into deep poverty, and pretty much everyone I went to high school with works at a big boy firm in New York. But I knew like, the moment I could, I was getting out of New York City, and like. That's why I chose a career specifically to get the hell out of New York City.
Many people touring this apartment when I came. And totally fine. Like, I think you should
Like I have many contacts who work in Google, for example. Like if I wanted to, I probably could have worked with Google. But I wanted to get as far away from the East Coast. Forget. The point is, like,
it's a very hot commodity. It's funny because all the FIT.
I would much rather
This is so cool. Like,
move to the middle of
Let
nowhere
it be known. This
where I
apartment
can get a mansion for
isn't like,
100K.
oh no, you don't want to live here. You want to live here.
You do. It's an adventure.
Can we check out the bathroom?
Yeah.
Then live like an ant. Okay, and this is actually the best part. They're gonna go to the bathroom. She doesn't have a bathroom in her
So I noticed
in
you
her
have
apartment.
shoes out here.
Yeah, I do.
Look at this bathroom, boys.
No, he's so chill. I've asked him a million times if it bugs him. He's like, I don't care.
The shower looks nice, actually.
This is the goddamn bathroom. It's just like a shower curtain and a toilet right in front of it, and she shares it with all the people on the floor.
No, I'm serious. So being a female living in this building and having your shower down the hall.
Look at the sheer damage on the door frame. Like, you really think that this is hygienic? At what point are you sacrificing your health to save money? Your health is not something that can be regained once lost. Yeah, you're only paying $650 a month in New York. You're probably shaving years off your life, though. What crabs and scabies do you have right now that you wouldn't have otherwise?
Do you ever feel uncomfortable?
No, honestly, but it might be because I know all my neighbors and I feel like I can just like walk out. I can rock out here in town. Like,
So she's saying she can just walk out in a towel. That's what I'm saying. You boys, if you are a heterosexual male in America, just move to New York. You'll get to see women like this in barely any clothing all the time.
it just doesn't matter because like we're all really close. So it's all my skincare, and then this is just like kind of essential stuff.
And imagine sharing the space, like having your shit in there.
Sketchy roof.
She said she needs a man. She needs a man like you, Secularis.
New York City. Whoa. So this is your rooftop. How often do you think you come up here? Like once a week? 7 times a week?
So I work from home like 3 times a week now. So I'd say like 3 to 4 days. Sometimes I get a little claustrophobic, so it's nice. To just
She
kinda,
works from home 3
relax,
days a
like,
week.
read, write, yoga.
How appropriate that
It's so tiny and tight in there. So
What do you do with the dog?
that the sex bot would come back onto the channel
or I
right at
take
this
them
point.
to daycare in the morning.
The luxury building versus this apartment.
Said you'd-
Which is better?
This.
Hot take.
100%.
Hot take.
People need a lot less than what they think they need, and learned that here.
Life lessons from the tiny apartment. Hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next
See, that's not true though.
The like button.
That's not true. I hate that about New York. Like, you guys are so desperate to live in the city.
Over.
Thanks for coming. Parents were making fun of me actually because they were like, Elena, you can't even. I'm from Missouri, so they're like, Elena, you can't even find a spot.
She's
like
from
this
Missouri.
For this cheap.
She's from Missouri. It's always these Southerners that want to move to the city because they grew up watching Friends or some other idiotic sitcom. They're like, yeah, I want to pay $1,200 a month to live in an apartment the size of an airplane bathroom, all so that I can go out with my homies, with my girls, and buy a pina colada at the bar that's overpriced, and do shots off each other's navels, and post a story to Instagram. Because that's my life legacy, baby. That's what I desire in life, baby. It blows my mind. Who the hell would see this and think, yes, that's what I want? Like, yeah, you want an island on your own? Same. Joker says you can live with a lot less than you think, but you won't live what lot? Exactly. One of the things about having a bigger place is that it pays for itself, right? I don't even have a terribly big house, but I do have essentially my own gym. Do have plenty of space for my dogs to run around. I have my own oven. God damn it, she doesn't have an oven in here. And how is this even up to standard? Like, at what point? Again, talking about health. Like, how does this pass a health inspection? No window except that skylight that you can't egress out of. No ventilation, so if you're cooking in there, you're gonna start a fire.
Do you ever feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, Nukenator, you and I are on the same page. Also, that woman doesn't represent all of us Missourians. Oh, you're from Missouri too. God bless.
It just doesn't matter.
So she needs to stream for Twitch. I don't understand why every woman in the world doesn't just stream on Twitch, by the way. Like, if you got boobies, even if you don't got boobies, like, just do it and you'll get a big following.
This is officially.
I'm not watching this one. I didn't watch it before, but, like, I just wanted to highlight this because I saw it in my feed. You know, anytime New York City is mentioned, I love to talk shit about it. I actually, like, sometimes I'll chime into, like, Chaotic Truth's show. I'll join his live stream. I never really advertise or anything, but, like, anytime he's talking about New York City, I feel impelled to join in because New York City is my hometown, baby. For better or for worse. What, you said my origin story? Well, it's funny. I mean, the thing is, growing up, I spent a lot of time in, like, Bushwick, Bedside, so, like, and also Bensonhurst, so, like, I lived around either Italian people or I lived around very black areas. But when I went to school, because I am, again, not to compliment myself, but I am intellectually gifted, and New York City has a program called, like, the SHSAT. You take tests to get into certain schools. Like, they're basically charter schools, but they are also public schools. They're run by the city. And so, although I was always living around, like, detritus, for lack of a better word, I was always going to school around, like, very studious, that were almost entirely very studious Asian people. Most of them were Chinese. They called them ABCs, American-born Chinese. And let's just say I didn't fit in anywhere in New York City, right? Like, I was in black areas where I was living. And like, at some point I didn't even have a home at all. Like, growing up, there were significant periods in my life where I was actually homeless. And then going to school, I was surrounded by very studious Asian Americans. And, like, it was a very... I never fit in New York City. Let me just say that. It made it very easy to want to get the hell out. Yeah, I'm not trying to suck my own dick, but while I was homeless, like I just mentioned, I got a perfect score on the SAT, and that's the reason I was able to go to college. My grades were actually mediocre. Granted, I was going to a very gifted school, but my grades were mediocre because I wasn't doing homework. Do I have the end pass? I have every pass. Flushing was a hang-up back in the day. Yeah, Flushing has gone downhill too, though. You know what went downhill? Astoria. Exactly. Everyone has a pass in New York. You couldn't fit with anyone unless you wanted to join a gang. Hell no. Dallo funded Mensa as a side project in high school. You know what's crazy? When I go back to New York City, my friends who can't drive, like, I am proud of them, though. Like, I only maintain a few friends from back in New York City. Like, Brooklyn was hell for me. My formative years were hell. But, like, I am proud of my few friends that I still maintain because, like, they are pulling in aggregate at the base level a good amount of money. Like, my best friend is a nurse, and he's pulling in like $140K. Granted, he's living in New York City, so he unfortunately has to spend a lot of that. But the other side of it is that if you're living cheaply like this woman is, and you're making a lot more money for the same job than you would be otherwise, that's money that you can throw into the stock market, that you can throw into bonds, that you can throw into any sort of investment. Because a dollar is a dollar no matter where you go. So that's the one good thing about living in the city, because, yeah, the cost of living is insane, but you also get paid a little bit more for the exact same job. And so everything that you should be doing with money, by the way, your goal in life should always be to have your money making money for you. I love you, Nukedator. Thank you. Vex Vertex says, how dare I diss your favorite streamers, Dale and Steven? You think Destiny is alright? Oh man, you are not going to like my channel very much, Vex. You're more than welcome to come back, but there are two streamers that I will talk shit about until the end of time. It is Dale and it is Destiny. Sallow teaches quantum mechanics. Not quite. Not quite. Started an Asgardia account with your 11-year-old self. God bless. Exactly, Imo. Exactly, Imo. It's all about you want to get to the point where you have your money making money. Like, I'm making an excellent amount of money right now. And I have a very nice house. Like, this is easily the nicest place I've ever lived in. Especially coming from New York, living in shit like this. Or being homeless. And despite that, my mortgage, my bills, my expenses, I barely spend like even 25% of my paycheck off my necessities. I save and invest so much of my money. Because I will never be homeless again. I can promise that. Like, even if I get fired from my job tomorrow, I have safety. I have security. I have a lot of my money making a lot more money for me. And I have as much money as I need to spend on my dogs. You can't put a price on that. Said you don't know much about Destiny. He is the epitome of illusory superiority. He thinks he is the most intelligent person in the world. Said we have blockchain with 2 colors for €2. God bless you. God bless you. Europe is an interesting example. Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. Europe is an interesting story because Euro is literally smaller. Excuse me, Europe is literally smaller than America. Like, people compare the United States to Europe all the time, like U.S. versus Europe, but U.S. is just a country. Europe is an entire continent. Like, every country in Europe is just a state in America. That's why it's called the United States, by the way. We forget our history lessons. But the point is, like, if you're in Europe, it's hard to really move out to somewhere where there's a lower cost of living, right? It's hard to build up your income in a high cost of living area and then move out to the low cost of living area. It's hard to do that because there are few low cost of living areas at all. Yeah, I hate Vosh. Vosh is a literal pedophile. Destiny is a black devil. I wouldn't say that. Destiny is just... Destiny is a black devil. That is the weirdest comment David said. Destiny isn't even black. But yeah, man. Point is, boys, live frugally. Live below your means in all that you do. Like, it's hard when you're not making a lot of money too. I get that. And sometimes you gotta do what she's doing, even if you're not in the city. But live frugally, live below your means, save your money, invest your money, have your money making money for you. And that's how you move up in the economic hierarchy. Up to speed on Destiny, he's a far left gentleman who thinks he's the smartest man in the world. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about, boys. Yeah, Destiny equals black LTG. Alright, let's make that a meme on this channel. I don't know if there's not much else to talk about. You said you've been here since Bella and you do think you're a pretty cool guy. Del DeLon, Emmanuel Wilson, Sparrow, still your favorite American racist. Thank you, Vex. I appreciate that. Cuties was valid. Yeah, but Vosh probably has that saved on his computer. Majority of Twitch streamers are just asinine. I agree, man. I cannot mess with Twitch. I feel bad because there's so many friends of the channel that do, but I will never go on Twitch. I saw it blew up this week that Twitch took away their 70-30 partnership offer that they had reserved for like only the big boys, and now everyone's on 50-50. No, Dark, I 100% disagree. I'm sorry. I've read his Discord logs extensively, and the fact is that he simply makes those allusions, and his Reddit posts extensively, he makes those allusions to, like, wanting to fuck the children of his enemies, and he means children. Vosh literally wants to fuck the children of his enemies as a way to show his dominance. Like, for him, that's the most dominant thing in the world. The other thing is that Vosh makes far too many jokes about horse cock. Okay, I think that Vosh's #1 sexual fantasy in the world is a horse having sex with a human child. And that is the most disgusting fucking thing in the world to me. Bestiality is the most... It just disgusts me. I'm not going to even talk about it. You know what? You guys are going to get me going off on all these pedophiles and zoophiles. Like, you're going to get me banned off YouTube. I appreciate it. I appreciate what you're doing. Yeah, Trevor, I'd like to see you move to YouTube. You know I'd be in your chat. Secular says, once your money is making money, you can't be canceled because you getting canned is going to affect other people's money. So they won't pull the rug out from under you. Exactly. Like, that's the only nest egg against getting canceled. That's the thing I think about a lot, Secularis, is that I could get fired from my job any day. Yeah, the ethical CP, of course. I could get fired from my job any day. God forbid all these people that I'm talking crap about. So that's why I live very frugally and have my money making money. Even if Bella succeeds and gets me fired, gets me canceled, convinces everyone in the world that I am a misogynist who just harasses women for fun. I still got my money, I still got my dogs, and ain't nobody gonna take that from me. You're a weirdo, YOLO Swaggins. But yeah, I've always said that anyone trying to make money off streaming, and I'm not, but anyone trying to make money off streaming should go to Twitch because their advertising revenue and their partnership deals are far superior to YouTube's. But after what happened, you guys might want to all move to YouTube. Trevor Belmont, the only thing that Twitch has on YouTube now is the thing that they've always had, the thing that's always kept them afloat, is that Amazon Prime Twitch partnership. Like, everyone has Amazon Prime. So the thing about streaming on Twitch is that, like, if you're a small boy, you start streaming on Twitch because you know your friends in your town, right? You know Sally next door and Johnny down the street. They probably have Prime memberships, so you could go up to them and you could be like, hey, I hate to ask you for a favor, but could you link your Prime to your Twitch account and then drop me a sub just to help me out? That's something that YouTube has no equivalent to. I'm already transgender, David Zambrano. Don't you forget that. Amen. What's that name? Steph Markovich? Steph Markovich says, dogs are man's only true friend. God bless the doggos in our lives. Yeah, you can dual stream. They took away that restriction. But I don't know if there's anything else to talk about. I know I got to pack because I'm unfortunately going to be in LA tomorrow. Trevor, maybe you and I can meet up, buddy. But maybe since I have to go to LA so often, I might like just see about getting an apartment near the LA area. Like maybe somewhere in Lancaster or, I don't know. I heard about the Casa de Lancaster apartments. I might do a review of Casa de Lancaster. Maybe like November 19th or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that. You're half bisexual. God bless. Thank you boys so much for joining me. Imo, you know what's up. Imo, Trevor, and Slayer are the only ones I've sent a sneak peek of what's coming up. I love all of you. Thank you so much for joining. It was super fun. Haphazard stream. And Igor and I are going to hit the park. And so is Jack.